Just a quick review of the new Sony Xperia Z, which was released, or it's going to be released about February 28th, I think, and it was announced at the start of this year at CES 2013. This is the phone anyway, looking pretty good. Nice bit of design work by Sony, I think. A bit of glass on the sides, glass on the front and back. Yeah, I mean, they've kind of done a good job of the design there, really. And you got the kind of thing they're going on about the power button, custom power button, whatever. It's better than the standard plastic ones, although they do have a standard plastic volume rocker at the side. Yeah, a few specs. You're looking at 1080p screen, 5 inches, so you're getting a good, more than the Retina that you get on an iPhone. It's like 441 pixel density, and like the iPhone's like 320 something, I think. So should be a good display. You obviously got internal memory, 16 gigabytes, but you do have an SD slot, which I think might be in the top just there. I'm not too sure, but I know it takes up to, I think it's at least 32 gig it can take up, so you can get. You might be able to get 64 gig in there. Probably they usually work, but you should be able to get a lot of memory anyway. It has 2 gigabyte of RAM as well, so it should be pretty fast. And that's paired with a 1.5 gigahertz quad core CPU, so it's going to be fast as well. I mean, you're not really going to have any trouble. I don't think you'll have trouble with modern phones these days just being slow. I mean, a bit past that, I think. But yeah, let's have a look at the back. You've obviously got the 3 colours, which is interesting, with the full glass on the back, sides and front. That is a glass finish on the back. Don't know how strong it will be, but I presume it's not going to crack, or too easily. But yeah, the colour thing's interesting as well. I mean, why they went for purple, that's obviously someone in Sony's decision. I think I'd probably stick to the black myself. I guess maybe they're going after a larger female audience with the purple. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's up to you though. They're probably, I'm going to presume they're not going to quite make as many purples, because I can't imagine they're going to sell too well. But yeah, black and white, still got those standard colours there. Here's another picture. This is just to show the charging point on the left side. I mean, I don't really know what they were thinking with that, if that is actually the charging point, because I've seen a lot of pictures that have that there as like the kind of plug-in point. I don't know really how they're going to plan to dock it like that. Maybe, problems with speaker docks, that kind of thing. If they're planning to make them, maybe they'll be custom, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, this is the inside of the phone. You've got pretty big battery. It's looking, I guess pretty good. Not too much of a mess as some cheaper phones are. This is obviously been quite well designed by Sony. And you've got a big battery as well. I think it's like about 2,330 milliamps. And obviously when you compare that to the 1,440 milliamp battery in the iPhone 5, you should be looking at a lot more battery. Obviously you've got higher resolution, bigger screen, but I think the battery is still going to be pretty good on that thing, because that is a big battery. Yeah, this is obviously just a picture of what Sony think customers are going to do with their phones. Have a drink from your water bottle, then give a bit of drink to your phone afterwards, and maybe drink a bit more yourself, and then just tip the rest on your phone. That's a different approach, but I guess they're just trying to show how waterproof it is, which I think we can see here as well. Yeah, I mean, obviously the waterproof idea is going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be, you can't leave it overnight in the water or anything if you forget about it, but it's going to stop people from dropping it in the sink, in the toilet, whatever, and it just not working. So I guess you could also use it in the bath or pool or whatever. It's pretty good. I mean, I can't really imagine people just tipping their drink over it in the middle of public unless they're just trying to show it off, I suppose. That'd be quite funny. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to have a phone like that. It just saves any accidents having to take it for repair or replace it. But I've had my phone almost a couple of years, and I've used it in the rain, wherever. Never really had any problems with water, but I guess you do get the clumsy people dropping it in the sink every day. Yeah, it's just a picture of the side, just to kind of show that button is kind of a new kind of thing, considering most phones just have a standard, either a little plastic kind of switch thing, or like the iPhone, a little metal switch. They've actually done a bit of design there. Looks good on the white, looks good on the black, looks different on the purple. I'm just not a fan of the purple one, but yeah, I mean, if you have a purple one, I guess that's just to stand out a bit. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, just another idea of Sony's design team focusing on the water aspect. I guess that's a unique selling point, but I guess it's not really going to be a deal clincher for me. I mean, I don't buy my phones considering how waterproof they are, but a nice thing to have nonetheless, and I'm sure new phones will come out with something like that. Yeah, just a comparison between the S3 and the Xperia Z. Only thing I would point out is obviously the Xperia Z is a bit thinner. I think the design looks a bit more plain, but a bit more business classy kind of thing. The only thing is, if you look down here, the Galaxy S3 has a physical button, so it doesn't need to waste the screen with these touch buttons, which I think are a bit of a waste. I'd rather just have a physical button, but obviously they've not gone for that. I mean, you got to remember the screen is bigger anyway, so I don't think it's gonna take up too much of your screen. But I would like to see a physical button, but still be pretty good. Just a quick comparison between the iPhone 5 in terms of or Apple saying, oh yeah, iPhone 5 Retina Display. It's amazing, but if you look at it, it's not that amazing compared to the new Xperia Z. It's got much more pixels per inch, so it's technically more than Retina Display, whatever that is. Obviously 1080p, so it's on a 5-inch display compared to a 4-inch, and it's not just extended lengthwise, it is actually a bigger screen. One thing I don't like about the iPhone 5 is just a longer version of the 4. They haven't really made the screen any bigger, they've just made it a little bit longer. So I think the screen's going to be really nice on the Xperia Z. And it's just like a line-up showing the sizes, because they've done quite a good job of keeping down the actual physical footprint of the device compared to the actual screen size by putting a big screen in. Compared to the others, yes, it is the biggest, but it also has the biggest screen, and it's only marginally bigger, to be fair. I mean, it really isn't much bigger. I don't think it would have much of an effect. Yeah, last thing, just a quick kind of Sony's little video to kind of show off their design a bit, I guess. Showing off that power button. Yeah, as you can see, the design is pretty nice. Bit of plastic around the edges, but yeah, there's a lot of glass on it though. The back does look pretty good. There's obviously Sony's just like flagship kind of marketing video. I think I've already watched this, but yeah, we'll just be interested how long the glass lasts. A few drop tests on YouTube, I'm not surprised. And obviously people who haven't already seen this video, just thought I'd stick it in there. Looks like it will have Sony's own layout over the Android that comes with. That's obviously jelly. Yeah, I think that pretty much shows it off. I just thought I'd include that since you can't. It's pretty hard to get your hands on one at the moment. So yeah, that kind of sums up the review. I mean, there isn't really much else to compare it to technically. I mean, obviously it's got all the kind of upgrades that you'd expect, and it's pretty much going to be the market leader, I suppose, for even if it's for a short time. Obviously, you've got the S4 coming out soon. But yeah, it looks good. Thanks for listening.